Hi, I'm El. Hi, my name is Diki.
Hi, I'm Arief.
Hi, I'm 50.
Hi, my name is
Kansan from class 1A.
And welcome to our video. What is the meaning of life? Or of a table? Or of a rabbit? Well, we might not know about life, but we can easily find out what the word means. We just look it up in the dictionary and boom, episode over. But whoa, wait a second. The first problem with relying on dictionaries is that dictionaries are made by people, and the people who write dictionaries called lexicographers still need some other way of figuring out the meaning of a word. The second problem is that writing a definition isn't always the most effective way of pinning down the meaning of a word. The area of linguistics that interested in meaning and the many ways that we can describe it is semantics. According to Britannica, semantics is the philosophical and scientific study of meaning in natural or artificial languages and the many ways that we can describe it. In this video, we'll introduce what semantics is about. So, stay tuned on our video.
Let's talk about antonym. Do you like read books? I sure do. One of my favorite books is The Road Kind of Blood by Douglas Hughes. I like it because it has many poetic words in it. But do you know what's cooler than poetic words? Antonym and synonym. An antonym is a word that is opposite in meaning another. From opening of the novel, it is written, a woman by the name of Linda Dawson found lying dead by strangled with scarf or silk tie. We can find antonym here. The word woman is antonymous to the word man, where lying is antonymous to the word standing. The word dead is antonymous to the word alive. Let's move to synonym. On the other hand, synonym is a word or phrases that has the same or nearly the same meaning as another word or phrase in the same language. From the 6th page of the same novel is written, in the doubly bay, the city lights flicker in haze. We can find some synonyms here. The word light is synonymous to the word lamps. The word flicker is synonymous to the word shining. The word haze is synonymous to the word fog. So that is what a synonym. Do you understand it now?
Now, let's imagine a world without connotation. Some profound writers and playwrights like William Shakespeare or Oscar Wilde would not be as famous as now. This is actually because the use of connotation is actually one of many ingredients of creating their incredible and remarkable writings. According to OxfordReference.com, a characteristic or a tendency of a word to evoke an emotional sense or secondary meaning is called connotation. We use connotation to express how flabbergasting is a painting, how blue we feel when we are feeling sad when we lose something precious, or how over the moon we are when we are getting a birthday present. For the sake of clarity, let's take a look at this scene from 500 Days of Summer.
Tom walked to her apartment, intoxicated by the promise of the evening.
From that scene, the narrator narrates, Tom, intoxicated by the promise of the evening, and he walked to the apartment. The word intoxicated literally means being under influence of drugs or any alcoholic drinks. But here, the word intoxicated is actually an expression to refer to the emotion of the main character Tom being too excited or too happy. Let's move on to denotation, shall we? Well, if we imagine William Shakespeare and Oscar Wilde would also want their readers to see the words in their literal forms, right? Well, this is called denotation. According to OxfordDictionary.com, a denotation is actually the explicit or the literal dictionary meaning of a word, with a reference that it refers to a thing or an entity in real life, which is also called reference. We use denotation if we want to be concise, clear, or direct in our communication. And denotation is actually also a crucial part in writings and verbal communications. For a clearer example, let's take a look at the same movie from different scenes.
Why make something disposable, like a building, when you can make something that lasts forever, like a greeting card?
In this scene, the main character says, "Why would we want to create something that is disposable like a building when we can create something that lasts forever like a greeting card?" Here, the word building is actually a denotation since it's based on a real thing in real life and it refers to a real object that is a construction, a human construction with walls and roofs, as the one that is shown in the scene, which is an apartment. So, those are the two aspects that is interesting in English, which is denotation and connotation that I'm sure could, beautify your writings and verbal communication in real life when you want to make poems or prose and all of that. So, have you ever used connotation and denotation in real life before?
Going to explain the material about polysemy and homophony. So the first one is polysemy. Do you know what polysemy is? So based on Glottopedia, polysemy is a phenomenon where a word has several different meanings that are related to each other. By some estimates, around 40% of all words in English are polysemous with more or sometimes many more than one meaning. For example, look at these scenes. In the Frozen movie, focus on their dialogue.
Sure. I'll let you tag along.
Alright, let's start this thing over. Hi.
Alright, if you have watched the scenes and focus on their dialogue, you will notice that the word let is spoken twice. So, in these scenes, the word let has many meanings that are closely related to each other. In the first scene, the word let is used to allow something or someone to do something by not doing anything or to stop an action by giving your permission. While in the second scene, the word let also can be used to express a suggestion or request that includes you and the other person or people to do something together. So basically, both of them is related because of the meanings are still talking about doing something. Alright, let's move to the next material, that is homophony. So basically, homophony is kinda similar to previous material, that is polysemy, but based on Glottopedia, homophony is when a set of words are pronounced identically, but they have different meanings. So the words may be spelled the same way, but they actually have a distinctive meaning to each other, such as rose as a flower and rose as a past tense of rice. For example, let's take a look at this movie clip.
Could they be the miners?
Oh, sure. They're like 3 years old.
Miners, not miners.
You lost me.
So this is a movie clip from Galaxy Quest movie. In this scene, the character Alex and Fred are discussing whether the cute aliens that they have found are the miners or not. But when Alex asks that question, Fred is miscommunicated with minors, that means a child, because of their physical appearance like a child. So in conclusion, there are two words that pronounce identically, but they obviously have distinctive meaning to each other.
So right now, I will tell you about constructional meaning. What is the first thing that pops up in your head when you hear constructional meaning? Let me guess. Is it the meaning of constructional, which is connected with the making or building of things? Or anything else? Well, actually, constructional meaning in semantics is not just like that. This is the way to believe that structural patterns can have a meaning of their own. For instance, do you know the formulas for the area of rectangle? Yep, it is area equals length times width. We can use this formula for any numbers, right? Just like that, in a language, we also have formulas or patterns for some types of sentences. This is the use of constructional meaning. We can use the same pattern to construct a sentence. There are some types of construction: cause motion construction and the transitive construction. Here, I will show you how is the cause motion construction and the example of it. Cause motion construction can be used to describe something or someone makes something else move. This occurs in the pattern nominal phrase plus verb plus nominal phrase plus prepositional phrase direction and has a meaning in which X causes Y to go somewhere. Let's take a look to a sentence from It Ends With Us novel by Colin Hoover. I dropped my hat in my hands. If we analyze it, we can see the formula mentioned before when I as the first nominal phrase causing a motion drop to another nominal phrase, my hat, into somewhere, which is in my hands. Now, let's move to another example from the same source. He rests his back against the ledge. Look, different words but the same meaning, right? They are both describing an action where someone or something makes something else move. In conclusion, constructional meaning creates a pattern for a sentence, so we can use it to convey a meaning of a sentence.
What does the sentence Brian loves dancing more than Claire means? Seems pretty straightforward, right? There's Brian who loves dancing more than Claire does. But wait a second. About half are you saying right now? That's not at all what I thought it meant. I thought it meant that Brian loves dancing more than he loves Claire. Well, you're not wrong either. This sentence is ambiguous. It's called structural ambiguity. According to TechTarget, structural or syntactic ambiguity is the potential of multi-interpretation for a piece of spoken or written language because of the way words or phrases are organized. For more example, look at this BBC News headline. Britney Spears announces engagement to Sam Asghari. This phrase is unclear what phrase it attached to, since the function of the preposition is unknown, whether it modifies the verb announces or the noun engagement. If it attached to the verb announces, it then will function as sentence complement. However, if it attached to the noun engagement, then it functions as post modifier of the noun. In other words, this sentence has two meanings. The first meaning is that Britney Spears announces her engagement to Sam Asghari. Second, Britney Spears announces her engagement with Sam Asghari. So, how is it? Do you get it? The meaning of a word or phrase could change when used in different cultural contexts due to variation in cultural norms, histories, and social practices. For example, the word tea might denote a beverage in most cultures, but in British cultures, it can also refer to light meal in the afternoon or an evening meal. So, when you go to England and meet British people and they ask you for tea time, don't be surprised if they serve you a snack or light meal in the afternoon.
There was a moment when we wanted to cherish our friends when they were about to perform something. But instead of saying good luck, some people would say break a leg. The situation sometimes results in misinterpretation because if we interpret the sentence with the notation, the meaning is so cruel, right? Break means to fracture something, and leg is the limb we walk on. Of course, no one actually wants the person to break a leg.
Since semantics is related to context and emotional meaning of spoken words, body language and delivery tone is very crucial. First thing first, body language includes nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, gesture, posture, eye contact, and etc. can convey wealth of information and influence interpersonal dynamics. And then, delivery tone creates some nuance of spoken words so we can understand someone else's emotion through their stress, word stress, pitch, pauses, and more. For the sake of clarity, let's take a look at this scene from Young Sheldon.
We're going to California? Nope, just me and Dad. That's fair. I'm so happy for you.
Sometimes sarcasm was laid on so.
In this scene, Missy Cooper seems excited when she asks whether they will go to California. We can conclude that from her facial expressions such as raised eyebrows, high voice, and all. But not long after, Missy seems very upset and mad, judging from her lowered eyebrows, how intimidating her gaze towards Sheldon, and how her postures look very statured. In addition, her sighing before saying, "That's fair, I'm so happy for you," indicates an anger, because she delivers it in a very flat, monotonous, and slow tones, since Sheldon replies that only him and his dad that are going to California, not Missy. So, sounds very interesting, right? Now let's move to the other question.
Yes, when I talk to my friend or read a book. So ambiguity or vagueness in language that I found I considered by referring to the context again. Basically, if you meet the ambiguity or vagueness, you can just read the paragraph twice or ask the speaker for specific details or context to narrow the possible meanings of the ambiguous statement. In communication, manners is respect. It's very prioritized, especially in a multicultural environment. The integration meaning when a gathering language barrier is multicultural environment. Let's take a look at this scene from the movie Mr. Baseball. Okay, let's see it.
It's polite. It's okay.
Just having dinner with her favorite team, Mr. Uchiyama, and family. Just as Uchiyama slurping a noodle, he wrote out they slurp noodle polite. A joke slur lightly, a barely giant polite, but slur was annoying. And just put the chopstick in the rice bowl, and he wrote out that put the chopstick in the rice bowl, considered bad luck. The point is not object, we can try to adjusting our style with communication according to the word we are telling to. 2. Learning to cultural background, and of the people that we are interacting with. And 3. Listen carefully and speak carefully to them. And that's all. Thank you.